Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe.
Welcome back, darlings. I'm TV host, entertainment journalist Cognac, Wellerlane, and we are just about to do a fascinating Zoom interview with actress Katherine Black. She is in the animated series and TITUS, and she plays the role of Jasmine. But there is so much more to her as an actress, and let's take a look at this fascinating interview with Ms. Katherine Black. Welcome, darlings. I'm TV host, entertainment journalist Cognac Wellerlane, and I have a very special guest today. Of course, all my guests are special. This is a beautiful actress. Her name is Katherine Louise Black, and I'm going to tell you, welcome to my pink kitchen. As you can see behind me, I have a pink kitchen.
Yeah, I see. It's so creative and colorful.
Yes, I'm very pink. I'm wearing pink, of course, today, and pink is my favorite color. But before we get into the questions, I want to tell my audience a little bit about you. Katherine Louise Black was born in New York City on April 9th, 1984, and raised in Westchester suburbs. She has a bachelor's degree in theater and drama with a dance minor from Johnson State College in Johnson, Vermont. In 2007, she is currently studying at Penny Templeton Studio, where she has completed the advanced on camera and script analysis classes, and is presently taking Penny Templeton's master class. Now, you played the voice role in Jasmine in Titus. Before we get into your role, tell my audience, what inspired you to become an actress?
What inspired me to become an actress is how I could feel like I can relate to all these characters and understand them while I'm doing it. And knowing that I am not alone in this situation, whatever I have some personal problems that might have come.
I see. How old were you when you decided that this was your career path?
My career path, I would have to say, because back then, when I was like in elementary school, I didn't think about it back then.
Oh, okay. So you were a little kid when you decided that that was what you wanted to do with your life, that you wanted to
But
be
not
an
like
actress.
that, but I think when I really want to do it like professionally, I think it was like when high school, that's when it began.
No, darling, with me it was, I was smitten at 3 years old. My father took me to the movies, this big theater. Of course, I'm a lot older than you are, but my father took me to the movie theater, and I'm sitting in the movie theater, and in those days, they were very grand. You know, they have balconies, and it was just, you know, it was just a beautiful experience to go to the movies. And I see these people on the silver screen, and I'm like, oh my God, what is that? Are those real people? And my father said, yes, honey, those are actors. And I said, well, Daddy, that's what I want to do when I grow up. I want to be an actress. So of course, you know, he poo-pooed it. But
wait, so you were 3 years, so you were 3 or 6? So you were 3 or 6?
I was 3 years old.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous because I have no idea how old I was on my first movie experience.
I was 3 years old because my father, you have to remember something. My father was born over 100 years ago. My father was born 1920.
Whoa.
And he used to go to the movies when the movie was like a nickel. So my grandmother used to say, hey, get out of my hair. Just go to the movies, do something. So he would go to the movies literally like almost every day. And he used to see all the movies for like a nickel. So, you know, so that's how I really got into, because of my father. But
Oh, because of your dad. Nice.
yeah, and because he used to always take me to the movies. So when I was 3 years old, that was about the age I was when he first started taking me. So
Wow.
I was like mesmerized that, this is what I want to do when I grow up. I want to be an actress. But because I was an old-fashioned Italian girl,
Mm-hmm.
oh no, only Bhutanas do that. You have to get married and have babies, So that's my story, but enough about me. Now, I also read that you have a speech disability, although I
Yeah.
would never discover that as I'm talking to you now. You articulate your words so
Yeah.
perfectly. But tell my audience how you were able to overcome this disability in your acting career. Tell us
Mhm.
about your disability first.
Yeah, well, language and speech disability is kind of like when person say some sentences, they might have a hard time understanding, kind of mushing up together. And that's what I had a problem sometimes,
How
which
old were you when they discovered this with you?
I think they discovered it from what my parents saying. I think like when I was like 3 or 4 years old, because I think
So
that's
what
what they
would you do? You would mush up the sentences together?
I don't know. They say like sometimes I say things like that doesn't make any sense. That's why. So that's what I remember telling me. Like when I'm saying a sentence, like, oh no, you need to say it like this, not like that.
I understand.
And miscommunicating with people too and things like that. But that's what I like about acting. Like it helps me find my situations and fix it up. Like when people are directing me, I'm like, oh, this is not them just fixing up my character. This is like fixing up what I need to do in my life next time.
And how to get into the character and what is expected of the role that you're playing.
But not just that, but also myself. Like I was like, okay, got to be careful when I don't do that.
I see. Interesting. That's
So that was
very
like a
interesting.
very intriguing thing for me to do. Like today, I actually, since I'm saying it, I sound clear, is because I did a vocal warm up before I got here.
Oh, now tell us about that. What's involved in doing a vocal warm up?
Like saying like the A, E's, O, U, like those things, and like Layli, Lilo, Lou, that part. So that's what I try to do. So like it helps me like not just to acting, but also in real life. So before I go out and talk to people to make sure I'm clean and clear, and also how to be taking the moment time before I speak.
And also, I would think better pronunciation of the words
Oh yeah.
and the letters and getting your point across, because a lot of people when they do talk, this is just average people, this is not actors, average people,
Yeah.
everything is I noticed
Yes.
that when they say a sentence, before they say the sentence they say and then they say something. I've even seen professional people on television that do interviews or ask questions. The first thing out of their mouth is So that is, I noticed that's a problem, and
Yeah.
that really is not good. So
Yeah.
most people have to work on that, but that's just average people.
Yeah,
that I'm
but
talking
like I say, like sometimes like I sound like okay, but sometimes there'll be days, it'll be like off days. So I just sometimes find myself back. Like it's never perfect. Like you think, okay, I got it. I know what I'm doing, but sometimes you can lose it sometimes.
Yeah,
You can
everybody.
lose it. And then you gotta build yourself back. So that's what I try to do. Like if I'm actually very, very upset, sometimes my old habit comes back and I try to find myself back to it again.
So your parents brought you for therapy to help you with this when you were a child?
Oh yes, I remember like as a kid, like they always bring me to speech therapy, and let me tell you, just like everyone else, like I hated it because then kids back then will look at you differently, and I go, okay, I don't want to go there because it makes me think like I'm like some different person to do it.
Right. I understand. But look at you now. You're a beautiful woman, and look what
Yeah.
you've accomplished in your life. Now, also, I also read that you are an experienced dancer. Tell my
Mm-hmm.
audience about the various dance groups that you have worked with.
Yeah, like in the past, well, when I was like definitely for dancing, like I said, I never thought of myself being a dancer when I was a kid, but everyone's like saying, "Oh my God, you're so good." And my first group I was in was 12 to 13 for 1 year, was called Op Center Junior Company at a dance studio called Dance Cavice, where I used to go to. And that was like my first real audition, because you never know if you're going to get in or not.
Mm,
And that was a big deal. Like my parents didn't want me to do it because they don't want me to feel the rejection.
rejected. Yeah,
Yeah,
same here, same here. They never wanted me to pursue that kind of show business life because of the rejection that everyone goes through when you become an actor.
yeah.
But now, how old were you when you went on this audition?
Definitely when I was 12.
Okay.
And they make you do ballet and jazz. So
Typical.
it was very serious. But the thing is, I didn't know I was going to get in. I just remember getting the call and they just saying, "Oh, you're going into the regular company, not apprentice, the regular company." So that was like a big deal when I got in, because
And what company is this that you got into?
it's called Off Center Junior Company,
Off
but
Center
now it's
Junior.
mostly called Off Center Youth Ensemble, I heard.
Is that, I know nothing about that, but I mean,
No.
is that considered a very prestigious dance company?
Yeah, like for me, I think I call it like the pre-professional company because they have the adult version
Oh, I see.
called the Off Center, which that studio also does. So it's a very intriguing experience. So you get to perform like in community and some theater around places that's not just at the dance studio. So
I
that taught
see.
me a lot. And after that, in college, I was called in Vermont Dance Collective, which is in Johnson State College, which the instructor, she taught me lots of things about Renaissance dance.
Renaissance dance. What is
Yep.
that? What is
Renaissance.
Renaissance dance?
Well, like the Renaissance period, like in their parties and barns and these royals they have.
Right.
That's the kind of dancing.
Interesting.
And that was
Interesting.
very fascinating because you can imagine me wearing these Renaissance outfits back in the time.
That's so
Like the,
beautiful.
yeah,
I love that. I love history. That was like my favorite
yeah.
subject in school. I studied history. I used to get A's in history. I loved everything from ancient history to even like modern day our history, American history, like the Civil
Mhm.
War and the American Revolution and the French Revolution, which I really believe I lived during that time. I have two periods
Yeah.
in time that I know I lived in. I mean, I don't know if you believe in past lives, but I do. I know I was Egyptian and I know I lived during the French Revolution. I'm convinced both periods of time. Now, let's get into some more questions.
Mhm.
You are fascinating. Do you prefer uh, between the two show business? Are you more a dancer than you are an actor?
Well,
What do
first
you
thing,
prefer more?
um, for then, well, like every other kid was me being the actress, but dancing, like Carolyn kept saying, being a dancer, you're a great dancer. I'm like, okay, but what about my acting here? Hello. And but I would say I like both, but right now I'm on a dance hiatus because of when you grow up from college, then you have other things to go through. So mostly it's been focusing more on the acting route mostly.
Okay,
Like
how
getting
old were you when you started with the acting?
start with the acting. I would say when I was 6 years old in a Christmas patch in church one time. But I didn't know much about me much acting yet. Like I say, like when you're saying about movies, you say that's when you want to be an actress when you were 3 years old. Mine was like in movies saying, oh, I want to be like this when I grow up. I want to be like that when I grow up. Like for example, when I remember the movie Twister.
Yes.
It was, I wanted to
Isn't
be,
that about, that's about tornadoes, right?
yes, like from that
Yeah.
movie, at first I thought of myself being a storm chaser.
So in other words, you didn't really want to be the actual actress that was in the movie. You wanted to be what that person was, the character that they were portraying.
But mostly like as a job career, like when I
Like a
grow up.
job career, right?
Yeah. But then I realized when I got to high school, like, oh, everything I'm saying, okay, I should just play these roles in there. That's when I decided when to become an actress. Like
So
in
you
high
were having fun getting, like, when you were in the school play, this is fun. I
Mhm.
think I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's when I decided to go,
Yeah.
oh, I like this type of thing. And then also like pretending, even when you're a kid, like
I used
mimicking.
to do that too. I used to pretend. I used to like to pretend, play dress up, put my mother's clothes on, my mother's high heels on, my mother's lipstick. I used to do all of that. We used to do that in the classroom, with the other kids
Yeah.
in the backs. At the end of the day, we would play in the backyard and we
Yeah.
would do all this. So now, another question I wanted to ask
Mhm.
you is, Solomon sent me some film clips of you, okay, which were
Oh, what
very
kind of
interesting. Yeah, he sent me horror flicks that you were in, and I was, because I love horror.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you know, I interviewed Debbie Dutch, the actress Debbie Dutch. You never
Um,
worked with her though, have you ever
no,
worked with
no,
Debbie
no,
Dutch? Yeah,
no.
she's a huge horror actress, horror genre actress. How did
Ah.
you like working in the horror genre? Are you still working in the horror genre?
Right now, not really much, really, but that is the funny part. Like when you have one of your family members, like my sister, she's like a big time horror fan compared to me. And I just got hooked up doing horrors because of her.
I see. Is
So that's
she
like
an
good.
actress too, your sister?
She was a little bit, but right now she's actually more like getting her PhD in archaeology and bones in
Yeah, that's what
Washington
I
State
see. I like
University.
that. I'm not so much with the archaeology. I like the anthropology better. But I know
Yeah.
what archaeology is. That's fascinating. To me,
Yeah.
it's fascinating.
So
Now,
I
okay, but this is what I wanted to ask you about the horror genre.
mhm,
Now, you were in two werewolf
mhm.
movies, but
Oh,
you
that's
did,
the weird creature. That's the weird creature
yes.
video. That's been
Yeah,
so
now
long ago.
you are in two horror movies that he sent me that you don't play a werewolf. In two of these movies, you do not play a werewolf.
Oh, yes. I do.
Now tell
Yeah.
me, did you actually play a werewolf in any of your movies?
Actually, it's not in the movies, except it was just more like called the weird creature videos back in the time,
Yeah,
which is by Alexis Ramis, who does Extra Ram Pictures. Like we always did like varieties,
right, right.
transformations of examples of werewolves.
Okay, so what I saw when I did see these two movie clips, one was like 15 minutes long, the other one was not quite as long. But like I mentioned before, you were not a werewolf, but you played another type of a character. And also, I noticed in the movie that these people did not really fully turn into werewolves. They were just like about to turn into the werewolf. I
Mm.
don't, maybe the guy just didn't have the, makeup, he wasn't he
No, yeah, it
couldn't.
was like on the budget kind of thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
I
So I
think you're talking.
understand that. I understand that.
Yeah.
But I want you to tell my audience about your characters in both these movies and what was your character? What were you like? It looked like you were some kind of an investigator or news
Yes, that's the
reporter.
movie. Yeah, being an investigator, that part. Yeah, that was investigator, kind of like a villain investigator because she's catching that werewolf, I would have to say, for experiments. Mhm.
Right. So in other words, you were villainous. You were like a villainous because you were trying to, you were kind of, I would say, what's the word I'm looking for? Exploiting
Yeah.
you were exploiting this person who was a werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, interesting.
Kind of like, you know, how these people, investigators, like do these crazy experiments, and that's how it happened.
I see. Now, how did you find out about this movie? How did you get cast for that role?
I remember because like first it was doing the rare creature first because it was on Backstage. That's how I found out. And
Oh, you
then
found out from Backstage. Okay.
Yeah. And then I just realized like we just got along and we just did more collaborations together on these videos, and also saying, oh, I'm doing also this movie too, so I could see you in this type of role. So that's how I got it.
Interesting. And of course, you liked your acting too. I'm assuming that was the main reason why you got the role as this sort of villainous investigator.
Yeah.
So now, did you enjoy working in these horror genre type movies? Did you like it?
Yes, because like when someone if you're coming from a family, and also me, like who loves watching horror movies during spooky season in October,
Halloween, yeah, me too.
not? Why not? Because it's a lot of fun. There's another horror I done, but it's not out here because it's in festivals for now. I was one called in Breakneck Bridge.
Okay, tell us about that.
Well, oh, you want to know about that?
Yeah, tell us. I'm curious about that. Tell me about that.
Okay, it's very, very okay. Breakneck Bridge is about like these two girls. They actually are like lesbian lovers together, except the one person who I played, she's already married to somebody.
Okay.
So she's already
in a
married
heterosexual relationship with a man. Okay.
Yeah, but except she's having an affair with her husband's female best friend. And
her husband's best friend that's a female.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And also they're out in the woods, like going out for a run, which I hear people go out in the woods to go out for a run. And that's very extreme, I have to say. And then sooner or later, while on a run, the one she's having an affair with gets killed.
Wow. So but is this like a horror, like a thriller type of horror?
It's like a horror slasher thriller.
Yeah, it's like a thriller. It's not like a monster killed her. It's like, it's like somebody killed her. So it's like a thriller.
Yeah, and so for me,
suspense. It's suspense. Like you want to know who killed her while she was running in the woods.
Yeah, actually, I'm getting away, like whoever this killer is, seeing here's the person I'm starting to fall for, got killed. And
wow.
And I'm running, and then you'll see in the ending who the killer is, which I am never gonna say. You have to find out Is
this recent that you made this recently?
I would say it was like 3 years ago, but he just started putting in festivals like this year. I remember like two of them out of USA. So, but what I saw so far, like just like every other viewer, I was like jumping and screaming while I was watching it.
Wow. What's the name of this movie?
It's called Breakneck Ridge. It's a short
Breakneck Ridge. Okay, it's a short.
Yeah, but it feels like a movie, all right, because we had a person had this flying saucer thing camera up.
Wow.
While doing it.
And is it on YouTube?
No, because heard in festivals, when you have to be in festivals, you can't put those online after you finish doing festivals.
Right, I've heard that. I have heard that. I've interviewed a lot of actors that have told me that. So that's fun. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, lots of me running, but definitely got a lot of bruises from lots of running from the bush.
Well, acting on a whole is, people who don't really realize this, they think, acting is so difficult. God, yes. It really is. People have no idea what, People think you just memorize lines, and
Oh no, oh
there's
yes.
so much more to the acting. It's physical, it's physical endurance. You're working sometimes in the cold, you're working
Hold
with
on, yes.
weather conditions, rain, snow, heat. People have no idea what actors really go through.
Yeah.
And sometimes actors put their lives in jeopardy. I mean, look what happened with Alec Baldwin, that whole situation with the gun
Oh my
going
God.
on.
Now that was insane when I heard about that. Oh my God. I don't think they knew that there was actually a real bullet. I think that's how it happened.
They didn't think there was a real bullet in there, but
Yeah.
apparently
Oh
there
my God.
was. Apparently.
Oh, if you want to know one blooper part that we put in the ending credits in the Breakneck short film is
Right.
one part we had to do a reshoot on one part. But thank God I wasn't really there, but we had to relocate to a different place. But what happens was there was an actual snake.
Oh, this is what I mean. People don't realize what's involved in making movies. They really don't. They think you just memorize your lines and you deliver your lines but they have no idea. No,
Mm-mm.
there's all kinds of things that go on when you're filming a movie, all kinds of things. And sometimes a movie is a result of sometimes the bad things that happen actually make the movie
Yes.
better. Sometimes it can
Oh
make
my
a
God.
movie
Oh my
better.
God. They tried to make it better for Mike. It's like when I didn't know a snake was there, but I was like prepping there. And then I went away to prep. And one of them said, oh, there's a snake because the head was like peeking out of it,
Oh my
peeking
God.
out of the
Are
broken
you
window.
afraid of snakes? Are you afraid of snakes?
Never been in front of a public snake in the woods. So I was like, I didn't know it was there. It was black and very long. And the director decided just to record the snake. And it was like, slithering coming down slowly from the wall. And
Wow.
I was still panicky, and the scene where I had to reshoot was me being panicked at what's going on, talking on the phone, and the director said, make her keep that, don't make her go back to normal, just keep that scene, keep
Yeah,
that, let me
because that was
relocate it.
working for the scene. The terrified look that you had on your face was actually the good thing. It was making the movie
Yeah,
really
so
realistic.
if you ever see it when it
Right,
comes out, then you might see
exactly.
parts of that were real.
Oh my God. Now,
Yes.
I'll tell you a story too, because I interviewed Ava Astaire, that's Fred Astaire's daughter.
Mm,
Okay, I'm sure since you're into dance, you would know who Fred
yeah.
Astaire is. Now, he was, of course, very famous for dancing with Ginger Rogers. Well, she used to wear the most beautiful gowns when
Mm.
he was dancing with her. And of course, they made it look so effortless, the way their beautiful dance movements and the way
Oh,
he danced with her. It was so magnificent and so elegant. Well, there
mm.
was one costume, because that's what back in the day, they still call them costumes. Anything an actor
Uh-huh.
wears in a film is considered a costume, even though it doesn't look like a costume, it looks like regular clothes, they still can call that costume. She had on this gown that was all beaded, and they're dancing in the scene and had long sleeves, and the gown hit him, the beads hit him in
Ah,
the face. I think they did that scene over 10 times because
ooh.
what happened was that it hit him in the face. So I guess the director was trying to get
Yeah.
a better fix for the
Oh,
scene
yeah.
with the dance movies. But do you know they kept that one in instead? They did all
Oh,
these scenes with him dancing with, but apparently that one scene where she slaps him in the face with her beaded gown, that's the one they used. Now I don't remember what movie this was,
mm,
but this is what happens. Sometimes you
yeah.
think that that's not going to be good, or we do it again and again and again and
Yeah.
again. But even though they did all these scenes, they still decided to use that particular scene. And it's
Wow.
really weird because I tell people people think that they do the scene over and over and over again. As an actress, you would know this. They think it's because the person didn't act properly or they didn't get the line or deliver the line properly. But my acting teacher even told me this. It's not because of that. A lot of times it's a technical difficulty.
Yes.
That they do these scenes over and over again. It's not because of the line not being delivered properly.
No.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. I heard the same thing happen. You remember the movie Jaws, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
How could I not?
The
Everybody
opening
knows that
sequence,
movie.
of course. But in the opening sequence when she's in the water,
Right.
The famous, I just like discovered that that they had a problem with her getting her reactions of that one part. And so they actually used a film crew under the water about telling her to pull her down.
Wow.
So because she's more of a stunt performer, not an actress.
I see.
So that's what they did. You can see that close-up shot when they're like pulling her down. That was a crew member.
Wow.
Pulling her down without telling her so she can get that reaction, because every time she does it herself, they kept saying they're having a hard time getting her reactions while filming. So that's why they did a film crew going underwater, pulling her foot.
That must have been many, many scenes too. They must have did a lot of scenes with that.
Yeah,
sometimes one little scene that takes 5 minutes could take hours, the whole day even. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, I was in the movie The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh.
And I played one of the background actors. I was wearing a full gown, long, beautiful gown and everything like that. You won't see me in the movie because Meryl Streep says I'm the only woman that has platinum hair. She can't. So you'll never see me. But anyway, they did a scene 20 times. I'll never forget. I sat there and I watched them do a scene 20 times and they never put the scene in the movie.
Oh
they never did that. So you see,
every director, I heard Stanley Kubrick, you know who Stanley Kubrick is, right?
Yes.
I definitely know he is known for famous of doing so many takes. He's known for doing so many takes and taking years and years to do a movie, especially for The Shining, of course, and 2001's Space Odyssey, the 2001 Space Odyssey. And yeah, I saw a clip on Stanley Kubrick helping Shelley Duvall, and he's looking so frustrated with her to get her these reactions or her being so over dramatic.
He wanted her to be over dramatic. Is that what he wanted?
But she was not trying. He was really trying to make her try.
Amazing.
But, yeah.
Now, my next question is more about what you're doing right now, which is voiceover.
Oh, yeah.
Tell my audience, you're in this film, TITUS. Is this the very first voiceover you've ever done, or have you done others?
Oh, I have done others.
How did you get into voiceover? Tell my audience how you got into it.
How I got into it, like back then, I did not think so. This happened when I was in my senior year in college. Then I decided this is what I want to do. I was just watching because actually I'm a big anime watcher right now. And I just started watching Sailor Moon again in my senior year in college. And I go, this is what I like to do. And then I discovered like these animation classes, and I didn't know people actually make up character voices. I thought that was their natural voice.
No, they do. Yeah, they make up. I've seen it.
I thought that was their real voices. I thought they were born with it. And then I realized, every time when I was a kid, even in school productions, I'm always playing these character roles and I'm always changing my voice. So I realized this is something I like to do. And thank God for college, because if I was not in college, then voiceover would not be in my list.
So you were really smitten with the voiceover.
Yeah, I wasn't at first, but then I go, thank God for college, or else if I wasn't, then I would be stuck doing TV, film mostly. And because that was from my time, that's what was my mostly my focus on, still
Right.
is. But then I realized like I could do open to more variety of things than just focus on one.
Amazing, amazing. So now, what was the very first voiceover you ever did?
Oh God, this is very hard to say. It's been so long, it's hard to remember which one it is. But my big role was, can I just say big role? Because I don't remember my first one because it's been plenty. It's hard to find which role of voiceover was your first one.
So how many voiceovers have you done?
I think
A
it's,
lot, huh?
I think it's a lot. Like, I think like I think 20 or 30 or something.
Wow.
I don't know. I lost count because I could just help remember the memorable things.
So the
I've
one,
done.
the one that has made you the voiceover actress that you think is the best thing you've ever done. Tell my
Okay, I could
voice.
say well-known ones. Well, definitely
Well-known.
well-known ones. Well, another horror is a horror Sims, which actually won for best Sims horror movie, which is called A Dollhouse, and I play a crazy serial mother.
And that's a voiceover.
And yes, and that's a voiceover, and I played like the serial killer mom who's crazy, tried to make her daughter turn to a doll.
Oh my God.
I know, it was crazy.
But
And I
is
had a
that
really-
an animated? That's not an animated movie, is it?
it's like a Sims animated kind of look.
I
And
see.
you can find that on YouTube, but it might be hard to find it because there's so much called a dollhouse.
It's called
and-
Adult House.
A dollhouse.
A doll house. DULL house.
Yes.
A doll house.
Mhm.
You think it might be on YouTube?
I know it's definitely on YouTube. I hope it's still there, but every time I type it, it's like hard to find it because there's so many titles called a
I don't
dollhouse.
understand that. Why is it when I go on IMDb, this is the weirdest thing. I
Mhm.
see that there are movies that have the same title. How do they get away with that? That's so bizarre.
I don't know. I don't know.
But they get away with it. I've seen
Yeah.
movies named a certain name, and then there's another movie from another year named the same thing. I don't understand how they get away with that. That's so
Mm-hmm. I
bizarre
don't
to
know.
me.
It's
I
weird.
have to find out why that
Yeah.
is. It's just,
And also my other ones that I actually won an award for, it's not like a animation, it's just like a sci-fi kind of background with visuals and stuff, which is called the Pull Expanse, which I won a best supporting voice actress for that.
what's the name?
Actually the Pull Expanse.
The Pull,
Yeah.
like Pull?
Yeah.
The
It's like
Pull.
set like in outer space, like a sci-fi kind of a feel.
It's called The Pull, just The Pull?
Yeah. Well, what they call it now, the Pull Trilogy, like
Oh,
in
the
three
Pull
of those
trilogy. Interesting,
kinds.
interesting.
And for badass roles, I mostly played before Jasmine. It was called Silk the motion comic, where I played Silk, and it's like a side story of the Spider-Man. And she knowing Spider-Man is not the only one who has not been bitten by a spider at the field trip.
Fascinating.
And
Now-
I don't know why no one's not doing that movie yet. So it's kind of amazing because when I was reading that character, she's awesome, and it's amazing they haven't done adaptation of it yet.
Interesting, interesting. Now, tell my audience
Mhm.
how you were cast in TITUS.
Just like everyone else, like I did an audition, like voice acting audition, sending your voice recording in the audition. But it wasn't Jasmine I auditioned yet. It was auditioning for like one of the main guy's girlfriend.
That's
That's
like
who
Solomon. Solomon told me he auditioned for a different part, but
Yeah.
the director felt that his voice was best suited for this particular character, and I think he's right. I think he's definitely right. So now tell my audience about your character. Jasmine is her name, right?
Mhm.
Jasmine
Yes.
and TITUS. Tell us about this character. She's she's courageous, she's defiant. Tell us more about her.
Well, like she definitely comes from a family, from a long history, like from the agent. So she's following that footstep, and she's definitely like she's only as a recurring role in season 1, but she's going to get bigger, more fascinating in season 2 as a regular. And she's just like going out and getting these TITUS stones, of course, and because danger is approaching, time to fight back, and showing she's not here to have fun. She's here to stop it, and she'll do whatever she can.
Wow. Whatever it takes.
Yeah. And yes, of course, guys find her good looking, of course. And
yeah, she is, by the way, the character, the cartoon character, she's very pretty, Jasmine.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not doing just because of my looks, okay? But some guys like, oh, you're okay, you want to go out? I'm like, back off. I have work to do.
So now this is doing very well, this TITUS. From what I understand, it's doing amazing. It's winning all kinds of awards. Tell my audience about that.
About what?
Isn't it winning all kinds of awards and stuff? It just won something?
It just won the best web series pilot in December. So it just happened last month. So when I heard that, I go, oh my God, now that is something. And happy I'm part of this. Like, it's amazing when something you got won for best award and you're in this. It feels like a really big honor.
Well, I definitely interviewed the writer and the director, and he had so much to say about this film and about this cartoon, this animated series, and how, you know, how he put his whole heart and soul into it. I would like to see, we all want to see it get distributed, maybe on, you know, Amazon or Netflix or something like that. So this is a big, big thing. This is like a big project. And I'm sure you're very happy about that, having this role as Jasmine in TITUS. Are you working on anything else right now? Is this like is this the main project that you're working on in TITUS? Is there anything else that you're doing?
Actually, that's what I was about to say, but glad that you answered that. Well, I'm still working on collaborating. I just doing an audio drama of the Power Rangers.
Okay.
Which I'm still working on. Like I voiced Kimberly the Pink Ranger as a regular role and a recurring role of Scorpina. So I just did a voice recording for season 2 of episode 11, which will be coming out soon, which is, I've done this like for 3 years, so I still collaborate with them, like on these great stories on it. And not outside of voiceover and TV film, I'm actually going to be in a play next month called The Blithe Spirit.
What's the name?
The Blithe Spirit.
The Blithe?
The Blithe Spirit.
B-L-Y-T-H-E? Blithe? How do you spell it?
E-L-I-T-H.
Okay, The Blithe Spirit.
Yes.
Wow.
It's a comedy. It's a comedy set in the 1940s. There is a movie out, but I heard it's supposed to be really bad. But it's a comedy, of course, like with some supernatural in the beginning. Well, it's about like these marriage couple and having this woman who do a seance for them to, those seances where they call the spirits and have them talk to them.
Yeah, the clairvoyant sits there and everybody holds their hands.
Yeah.
And the spirit goes into somebody. Doesn't always mean it's the clairvoyant. It could be somebody else.
That's what it's kind of really about, but then one of them is just writing a book about it. It's just knowing, okay, this person's fake, just kind of need to write some research so she can do it. And then while doing the seance, suddenly, accidentally, the main guy's first wife who died comes in.
Wow.
So everything is just a mess.
So when are you going to be appearing in this theatrical production?
Next month in February. It will be in the first 2 weeks of February.
And where is it exactly?
Right now, like living for now in Clarkston, Washington.
Oh,
And
you're
we
in
set
Washington.
in Idaho, yeah.
You're in Washington State,
Yes.
which is north of California.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So that's where you're going to be performing in Washington. This play will be appearing in Washington.
Actually, it's in Idaho, actually.
Idaho.
In Lewiston, Idaho. But it's like only like 14 minutes away. So right now I feel like I'm going to two states. Like every time
But where do you live? You live like on the border?
I live in the border. It's like Clarkston, Washington, like right now in my window. And I just moved in here like in this apartment a month ago. So like you see like across my window, there's a great mountain view.
Oh, that must be beautiful.
Oh, yes.
I've been to California. My cousin lives in Los Angeles.
Same here, yeah.
Yeah, my cousin lives in Los Angeles. I thought maybe the play was going to be in Los Angeles. I would tell her to go see it since she lives on the West Coast, but I don't know if she'd go all the way up to Washington, but we'll see.
Oh,
I
don't think so. No.
It's far. Now, tell my audience, you have a website. What's your website? Where can we go to find out information about you?
To find out information, like which has all my work done and my demos and also print work, modeling print work, my website is www.katherinelblack.com.
KatherineLBlack.com.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
But the Katherine is with a K.
Right. Katherine was with a K. Now, you're on Facebook. Are you on Instagram too?
Oh, yes. And Twitter.
And Twitter. What do you use the most, Instagram or Facebook?
Well, Facebook, I had that for years since I was in college when it was only college only.
Right.
So it was before it became so big, before this all happened. I would have to say what I use more on is mostly Instagram and Twitter. But I still use Facebook because I had that since I was in college.
Yeah, I have.
So I can't really
most
say.
of the people my age, they're mostly on Facebook. But Instagram really is, and now it's TikTok. I'm not even on that.
Oh, yeah, neither am I. I'm not in TikTok because that's one thing people are using.
Instagram is enough. I'm on Twitter too, but I never go on Twitter. I have a Twitter account. I never go on it. I just concentrate on those two, Facebook and Twitter. But I want to thank you so much for talking to me here at Cognac's Corner Magazine. I wish I was there to give you a big pink champagne kiss, but I will. Oh
God, yes.
I will blow it to you.
And Miss New York, I really do. I would give you a hug if I was in New York.
Well, New York is a beautiful city. Right now, there's a lot of crime here, but
God, yes.
We want it to get better, and I'm sure it will. And I just want to thank you so much for coming on the show and talking to me about all your movie roles and TITUS. And as we say in show business, darling, break a leg. And I want to thank you very much. And I'm going to blow you a kiss. And we're going to end the interview. But don't go away because we're going to talk to you right after we stop recording. And thank you again, darling. And pink champagne kisses. And don't forget to watch Cognac's Corner Magazine. Pink champagne kisses.
I am TITUS. And right now, I am dead. But when my soldiers finally awaken me, I will gain all power and become the ruler of this world.
Well, not if we have anything to say about it. You guys ready to get this show on the road?
I don't know. I mean, are we really ready for this fight?
We have to be ready. The fate of the world may very well rest in our hands.
Well, if you put it that way, then let's get to it.
I will win this battle, Carlavon.
You may win a battle, Titus, but you will definitely lose the war.
Well, I hope you enjoyed my interview with actress Katherine Black. I certainly did. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And always press the notification bell to let you know when I am publishing a new video. I always publish a video every Sunday or every Monday. And my channel is all about fabulous shopping, sexy shopping hauls at Amazon, Fashion Nova, Shein, which I'm just about to do a fabulous fashion haul coming up with Shein, and also Rainbow Shops. That's coming up in the next week or two, just in time for Valentine's Day, just in time for Valentine's. And of course, again, my channel is all about sexy shopping hauls and celebrity Zoom interviews. And I love you all. And pink champagne kisses.
Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe. Some of you know Bridget Bardot. Well, now it's time for the Cognac show. I said Cognac, ooh, ooh. I said Cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm a bubbly blonde, fabulously dressed to impress. One of a kind girl. I was brought into this world wrapped up in pearls. I love to mingle, though my husband reminds me I'm not single. I meet and greet both the famous and the elite. I ride in limousines, drinking the finest champagne, wearing furs, dazzling diamond jewelry. A girl can't complain. I live the upscale life, dining in the finest restaurants, eating the best caviar for free. And no matter how much I enjoy cognac, ooh, ooh. I said cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. This has been a Crybaby Productions, darlings.